Hello Petersham kids, welcome to Kids Connect. We are so excited that you are able to join us today for Kids Connect. Petersham Kids is an amazing kids program filled with lots of fun and amazing God moments. I can't wait for you to see what we have planned for you today, so let's jump into it. Genesis chapters 41 to 46. When 2 full years had passed, Pharaoh had a dream. He was standing by the Nile when out of the river there came up 7 cows, sleek and fat, and they grazed among the reeds. After them 7 other cows, ugly and gaunt, came up out of the Nile and stood beside those on the riverbank. And the cows that were ugly and gaunt ate up the 7 sleek, fat cows. Then Pharaoh woke up. He fell asleep again and had a second dream. 7 heads of grain, healthy and good, were growing on a single stalk. After them, 7 other heads of grain sprouted, thin and scorched by the east wind. The thin heads of grain swallowed up the 7 healthy foreheads. Pharaoh released Joseph from jail to interpret the dreams as he heard he was able to. Joseph interpreted the dreams for Pharaoh. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt, but 7 years of famine will follow them. Then all the abundance in Egypt will be forgotten, and the famine will ravage the land. The abundance in the land will not be remembered because the famine that follows it will be so severe. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Since God has made all this known to you, there is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace, and all of my people are to submit to your orders." Pharaoh's dream came to pass just as God had said. During the 7 years when the crops grew well, Joseph collected all the extra food that was grown and stored it. There was so much grain it was like sand, and it could not be counted. Then the 7 years of famine came. In other countries, there was hardly any food, but in the land of Egypt there was plenty of food stored away. The Egyptians bought food from Joseph, and those from other lands traveled to do the same. Jacob told his sons to go down to Egypt to buy grain. But he would not allow Joseph's younger brother Benjamin to go, as he was afraid that something might happen to him. When the 10 brothers arrived to buy grain, Joseph recognized them, but did not let on who he was. The brothers bowed down before him, not knowing it was their brother Joseph. Joseph accused his brothers of being spies. The brothers insisted they were innocent and explained how they had left their father and younger brother Benjamin in Canaan to buy food in Egypt. Joseph insisted they were telling lies and put them all in jail. After 3 days, Joseph brought them out of prison. He said they could buy food and must return to Egypt with Benjamin. At this, the brothers became very upset. "God is punishing us for how we treated Joseph," they said. When Joseph realized they were talking about him, he turned away and began to cry. To make sure the brothers returned with Benjamin, Joseph kept one of them, Simeon. Simeon would only be freed when the brothers returned with Benjamin. When Jacob and his family had eaten all the grain they bought from Egypt, they were hungry once more. Judah told his father they could return to Egypt and buy more food, but Benjamin must return with them. Jacob did not want to let the young man go, but in the end, with a sad heart, he said goodbye to him and his other sons. Eventually, Joseph revealed to his brothers that he was Joseph. The men could not believe it. "It is true. Do not worry about what you did to me. God has used it to save us from the famine that is happening all around the world. Now all of us and our father will be saved," said Joseph. Then he turned to Benjamin and threw his arms around him, and both of them cried. Then Joseph hugged all his other brothers and told them to return to their father and tell him to come back to Egypt, where he would give them all a place to live and be happy. So all of the brothers returned home, and at first Jacob could not believe any of it was true, but eventually he did believe, and he made his way towards Egypt. On the way, Joseph arrived in his chariot, and seeing his father, ran to him and threw his arms around him and cried and cried. "You are alive!" his father gasped. Then all of Joseph's family lived safely and happily in Egypt. God had made everything work out for him.
Wow, Joseph really shone bright in his family by forgiving them. Well, now we've got a pretty cool craft by one of our wonderful leaders that you can make for a loved one.
Hey everybody, my name is Chloe. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make this really cool card to give to a loved one at home. First, I'm going to show you everything that you will need to make this craft. You will need a piece of cardboard or a coloured piece of paper. This we are going to fold later and this will become the base for our card. We will need 3 different coloured pieces of paper, some scissors, some coloured textures, a lead pencil and some glue. Once you've got all of those materials, it's time to get started. So the first step is you are going to take one of your coloured pieces of paper and we're going to draw on some love hearts. So you can get a texter or a lead pencil. And you're going to draw on some hearts just like this one. You will need about 4 hearts in each colour, so 12 hearts altogether. Once you have drawn your love heart, it's time to cut them out. So get your pair of scissors and you can cut out your hearts. All right, here we go. I've got one of my hearts, but make sure that you cut out 12 hearts. Once you've got your hearts, you are going to decorate them. So here are some ideas of how you can decorate all of your different hearts. There's lots of different patterns for you to choose from, so just choose your favourites. I think I'm going to decorate this one using some spots. All right, there we go. I've decorated one of my hearts. Once you have decorated all of your hearts, you need to fold them in half. Now we fold them in half so that when we stick them on our piece of cardboard, they stick up a little bit and they create like a 3D type effect on our card. So fold all of your hearts in half. And then once you're finished, you'll have all 12 of them, just like I've prepared some before doing this video. Okay, once you have all of your hearts ready, you are going to need your cardboard and we are going to fold this in half to create our card. Just like this. Now we've got our card and it is all ready to decorate. Okay, so now I want you to get all of your hearts and you'll need your glue. Open it up. And you're going to glue just 1/2 of your love heart. So just like this, and then stick it on your page. Okay, so I've got one of my hearts stuck down. I'm going to keep on going and stick about 9 of my hearts down on our card. So when you're gluing them, you want to try and keep your hearts in the top half of your section because later we're going to draw this down the bottom half. So try and keep all of your hearts in the top half of your card. All right, here we go. This is what your card should look like once you've got your hearts stuck down. Your next step is we are going to draw the stems that are going down our card using our green texter. So you're going to start from the bottom here and draw it all the way down to the bottom. All right, there we go. We're finished with our green texture. Now it's time to get a different color. I've chosen red, and we're going to draw a bow around the stems that we've just drawn. just like this. So now we've finished decorating the front of our card. Now once you've finished with the front, you can open up your card and choose to write down your message. So I'll show you the one that I finished earlier. So here's the front. And this is the inside of the card. So I've chosen to write this to my mum. So I've written Happy Mother's Day, and I had some leftover love hearts that I decided to stick on the inside as well. Now this card, you might like to give it to your mum, or there might be someone else at home that you can give this to, maybe your auntie or your sister or another special loved one that you can give this to. Now this is a way that we can shine bright in our families by showing kindness to those that are in our families at home. Okay, now I hope you really enjoyed learning how to make this card, and now it is time for me to show you this week's Bible verse. So this week's Bible verse comes from Matthew 19:19, and I've got some actions that you can follow along with at home as well. So it is, honour your father and mother and love your neighbour as you love yourself. And that's from Matthew chapter 19, verse 19. See you later.
Wow, how cool is that craft? Boys and girls, if you haven't made one already, feel free to use this craft activity and make one for your mum or somebody special in your family. Now, boys and girls, today we have learnt so many cool things about how we can shine bright in our homes. Today, there are two main points that I want you to remember. The first point is to show respect to those in authority. Boys and girls, God has put you in your family for a reason, and your parents are the ones that will have authority over you. So for today's lesson, it's important to remember that we need to honour our parents, just like the Bible verse, to respect them. So for example, if your parent says, Katie, can you please go clean up your room? Or, Katie, please be kind to your brother and sister. It is important that we try our hardest to do that, to show respect. And number two, to forgive others. Maybe your little brother and sister wanted to play with your toy, but they didn't ask you for permission. They took it without your permission. That might make you feel very angry. But what you need to remember is to forgive them, just like how Jesus forgave you and Joseph forgave his brothers for being mean to him. You should do the same too. And these 2 points will help us shine bright in our families. Thank you, Petersham Kids, for joining us today for Kids Connect. Now, parents, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, Kids Connect. And if you want to see what the rest of the church is up to, please subscribe to Petersham Online. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Have a great day.